Dear friend, people want to stay a little bit broken. This phrase swims around in my head from time to time. An old friend once said it to me. You know the type that you only speak to once in a blue moon? About a decade ago, he talked about changing careers into life and health coaching. Years later, in one of our rare check-ins, I asked if he ever did. He told me he got turned off. He said, it's too hard to help people because people want to stay a little bit broken. I was fairly new to the world of personal development at the time, and I didn't really have an opinion, but something about it stuck. It bubbled around in the back of my mind, surfacing now and again, even after I decided that the statement itself wasn't quite right. I don't believe people want to stay broken, but the reality is staying where you are is often the easiest option. Change can really suck. It can be hard. It can be scary. It can involve a lot of uncomfortable work. There's a lot happening in our minds and bodies that can make change feel overwhelming. So it's far easier to convince yourself you're happy with how things are than it is to actually do something about it. This convincing trick is actually our brain's default mode. Your brain decides it's not that bad, it could be worse, or things will probably get better eventually anyway, so problem solved. Obviously, the problem isn't solved, but we have conveniently convinced ourselves we don't need to take action. This is a brilliant way to make life easier for ourselves. But it isn't an approach that is particularly helpful when we want to make our lives better, which we ultimately deserve. I need to mention, not everyone struggles with change this way. Some people thrive on it. They love reinvention, fresh starts, big leaps. I am not one of those people. Hello, my name is Annie, and I have a problem with change. However, becoming aware of this has been one of the most useful things I've learned about myself. Because awareness is the difference between thinking you're stuck and realizing you're just scared, overwhelmed, or protecting yourself in the only way you know how. So now, when I notice signs that I'm resisting change, hello, procrastination, avoidance, suddenly becoming very busy with unimportant things, I can get curious. I can slow down. I can remind myself that nothing has gone wrong. And from there, I can gently move forward, not by forcing myself into action, but by meeting the resistance with a bit of kindness and taking the smallest possible step when I'm ready. Because noticing there's a problem isn't a failure. It's often the very first step towards building a life that actually feels like yours. So this week, I want to invite you to have an honest look at where you might be settling, where you've decided something is fine because it's easier than changing it. No judgment, just curiosity. See what patterns start to show up in the things you're avoiding and whether there's a small, kind nudge you can make towards a direction that feels a little scary, but a lot more honest. Thank you for spending a moment with me. Sending you lots of love.